Ndị Igbo tụrụ ilu sị achinye gị sị gị na ọ dị asaa na gị gụọ ya ọnụ o nwere ike asụtachaghị m otu esi asụ ya mana otu a ka ọ dara. Many of us, we are doing business, and in that business we reach negotiations, we enter into agreements, we ask critical questions, we examine things to make sure that we don't go into a risk that will scoop off our hard-earned money. Those questions tries to help us understand what is behind that business. When you see companies with their names, let's say for example, Ibeto Cements, when you hear that name, you understand that this name is dealing with cement. When you hear Dangote Sugar, you understand that this person is into sugar. When you hear Sacklos Paints, you understand that this person is into paints. I want to ask you, with this knowledge you have in trying to understand the business, each business you want to do, you want to know the front and the back, you want to calculate your profit to know what you will get before entering that business. You want to examine everything about this business. This is nobody push you to do this because you know the risk. I want to ask you, how did you examine or come to believe that name Jesus? You see that name Jesus? How did you come to examine it? Have you ever examined it? Did you know the source of the name? Do you know the meaning of the name? Have you tried to check? Have you tried to, do some research about it? Or you just stand on what somebody already gave to you and asked you to believe this and told you this is about this without your own personal research? You see, you act wise when it's about your money. You act wise when it's about your money. But when it's about your religion, the one that is about your entire life, which you didn't know, the one that is about controlling your real life, your spirituality, you didn't care about it. You just focused and believed. It's called belief. To those who believe in me, not those who researched, not those who found out that this is not what it is about, that this is not what it was told about. To those who believe. We spend our time to do research in other things, and the very thing that is capping everything we do, we don't have time for it. You have been hearing from your right to your left that Jesus is fake, Jesus is not real. But because you don't know or you don't have the evidence and you have not truthfully devoted yourself into finding out, you want to settle for what it's moving. There is this, this peace of mind we get when we just decide not to stress ourselves and follow the bad wagon. Bad wagon is always easy to follow. You don't have to stress yourself. You just repeat after what the others have been saying. That's about the bad wagon. And bad wagons, you see, ships, they can get destroyed for just one who led them astray. You see, they follow they flock together. They flock together in one direction. When that one that is in the front just leading them, you see that sometimes as soon as that one enters the middle of the road, whether the car is coming or car is not coming, the rest pushes in. They don't care what is going to happen to them, whether that car is going to kill them or not. That's how ships move. And I remember that Christians were described as ships. And I wonder how an Igbo man who knows or understands when he is called Atoro, how he feels. Because we know that this Atoro, how he behaves, is not just foolish, it's mockery. So when you are called the name Atoro, if your mother calls you or your father calls you Atoro, or somebody else calls you Atoro, how angry you feel, shows how foolish that animal is. And that is the animal that was used to describe Christians. Yet you read it with your own eyes, but you don't bother. You don't really bother. You don't bother when it is called sheep, but you bother when it's called Atoro. Have you ever think about it? You see, it's still about this demonizing everything about you. You are called Atoro, you feel bad. But how come you are called sheep, you didn't feel bad? If you were called a snake, it would have been better. Because snakes are wise. Snakes can think. Snakes can calculate. And snake can make smart moves. But Atoro, sheep, can never. That's its nature. How dare you describe me in such a nature? That shows the kind of thing you want me to accept. You don't want me to question something. You want me to move foolishly. You don't want me to look right or left. You want me to just keep moving, follow the existing, follow anything you have said. And everything about truth, everything about Christianity is centered on the Bible. When you just close that Bible, that book, close it like this, the rest of the thing you may find around you will be contrary. Why? Because that thing has large quantity of lies in it. Large quantity, spoonful of lies inside it. There's a part of in the Bible which was said that and he casted a spell on the whole world. He casted a spell on the whole world. The whole world was, led astray. I think that's in Revelation. The whole world was led astray. He casted a spell. What is a spell? Like a charm. You were hypnotized. So you don't think again. You don't reason. Whenever you want to think about this kind of thing, you just push it away. You're not able to reason over this particular thing. You're just moving. That's a hypnotized person. That's someone who is under a charm. That's someone who is under a spell. And what is that book called? It is called God's Spell. Have you ever written that name again? It is called God's Spell. And that God's Spell was said that it will be preached all over the world. The God's Spell will be spread all over the world. The God's Spell will be spread all over the world. This is just an introduction. I will take you through it from the beginning to the end. We are going to dig in. We are going to, thwart step after step that which you have believed. We're going to thwart it. We're going to open it, one after the other. And at the end, you will be the one to answer what you have been believing. For example, you can see my name is Ancient. This is my stage name though. Now you want to ask, what is the meaning of Ancient? Now you have to dig. And you'll find out maybe that the word ancient could be traced from what? Ancest, which is like ancestors. So when you have to say the word ancient wisdom, it means the ancestors' wisdom, the wisdom from the ancestors, the wisdom from the old ones. You should be able to trace the meaning of a name. Companies have names. Whatever we do in this life have name. Name represent us. So when somebody tell you his name is Jesus, I think there is a meaning of Jesus. Not telling you that the meaning is Savior. You should be able to trace that J, that E, that S, that U, that S. You should be able to trace it. Not just somebody tell you, okay, take for instance, as an Igbo man, you ask me, what is Ihojo? I said, Iwo Onyojo, and you ask me, what is Onyojo? What is Onyojo? And I said, Onyojo means good man. And then you just take it like that. That's how it is. Somebody tells us Jesus means Savior. Now we just take it like that. But meanwhile, I know that Onyojo or Ihojo is evil. Anybody who is an evil person knows that Ihojo or Onyojo means evil, bad thing, negative thing. But when you ask me, what did I say? I said it means what? Good thing, good man. That's how much you should give attention to the meaning of that name, Jesus, the actual meaning, not what you were told. Trace it. It has an origin. Trace it, and that tracing is what I'm going to bring to you. I'm going to bring it to you. We are not a pushover. You just tap and say follow. We will follow. No, we don't do that anymore. We will tear it open and show it to you. And after showing it to you, yes, it is now your choice. We don't force you, but for the knowledge, we'll open your eyes. For the exposition, you will see it. But for you to decide, it's not my business. It is not my business. So, we'll be taking you through this particular section of teachings. Join us as we launch into this.